Welcome to Grand Prix, your go-to channel for the fastest updates in Formula One. We've got 3 hot stories for you, so make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay ahead of the pack. Let's get started. The new Formula One season is approaching, and Ferrari has officially revealed the name of its 2025 challenger. After weeks of speculation about a potential tribute to Lewis Hamilton, a theory that never quite made sense, the team has decided to stick to tradition. The new car will follow Ferrari's naming sequence and be called SF25. In a short teaser video, Ferrari showcased the iconic red and white color scheme, suggesting that this year's livery will feature more white details instead of the black accents seen in recent seasons. This subtle yet noticeable change hints at a visual throwback to some of Ferrari's legendary designs from the past. However, we will have to wait for the official reveal to see the full extent of these changes. With Hamilton joining Leclerc for his debut season in Ferrari Red, expectations are at an all-time high. The SF25 represents not just another car in the Scuderia's history, but potentially a game-changer in their pursuit of returning to title contention. The technical updates, aerodynamic refinements, and Hamilton's input could be the key elements that elevate Ferrari's performance. Fans around the world are eagerly waiting to see how Hamilton adapts to his new team and how the SF25 stacks up against its rivals. Ferrari has been pushing hard behind the scenes, working on a competitive package that can challenge the dominance of Red Bull and Mercedes. While pre-season testing will provide some clues, the real test will be once the lights go out for the first race of the season. One of the biggest uncertainties surrounding Ferrari is whether they have finally overcome their strategic errors and improved race execution, 2 factors that have cost them crucial victories in recent years. With Hamilton's experience and Leclerc's raw speed, the team now boasts one of the strongest driver pairings on the grid, but their title hopes depend on Ferrari delivering a fast, consistent, and reliable machine. Beyond the championship battle, the arrival of Hamilton at Ferrari is set to reshape the team's internal dynamics. Will Leclerc rise to the occasion, or will he struggle with the pressure of competing against a 7-time world champion within his own garage? The rivalry between teammates has often shaped Ferrari's past, and 2025 could be another chapter in the Scuderia's dramatic history. Now the big question is, will Ferrari finally deliver a car capable of fighting for the championship, or will 2025 be another season of what could have been? Are you excited about the SF25, or do you have doubts about Ferrari's chances? Let us know your thoughts. The FIA has been making several high-profile personnel changes recently, removing individuals from their positions, particularly those who failed to align with the president's expectations. Whether due to controversies or statements that didn't sit well with leadership, several key figures have been dismissed. This week, it was Johnny Herbert's turn, a former Formula One driver and longtime FIA steward, who was officially removed from his role. The FIA cited a conflict of interest as the primary reason for Herbert's departure. Alongside his stewarding duties, he had been working as an analyst for various TV networks and media outlets, openly discussing controversial F1 topics. His outspoken criticism of Max Verstappen's driving style and comments about Red Bull's team environment, including Verstappen's father, reportedly led to complaints being filed with the FIA. Red Bull expressed concerns that Herbert's personal opinions could influence his stewarding decisions, possibly leading to biased penalties against Verstappen. The situation was further complicated by Herbert's reputation as a respected figure in the paddock, making his departure a notable decision by the FIA. Many fans and analysts saw his dual role as a strength, bringing real-world racing experience to the steward panel. Others, however, argued that his media presence and strong opinions created an unavoidable conflict, especially when his criticisms targeted specific drivers or teams that he had to judge impartially during races. Following his dismissal, Herbert responded publicly, expressing gratitude for the opportunity to serve as an FIA steward for so many years. He stated that he had always treated all drivers and teams with respect and maintained impartiality in every decision he made. He also emphasized that no steward acts alone. All decisions must be approved by multiple officials, meaning any potential bias from an individual steward would be counterbalanced by the group. Despite this, Herbert accepted the FIA's decision, thanking the president and the governing body for the experience. He has already transitioned to new roles, now focusing on Formula E, making it clear that he has no plans to step away from motorsport anytime soon. His involvement in the sport remains strong, and he continues to provide insights and analysis through various platforms, ensuring that his voice will still be heard by fans and professionals alike. This situation raises an important debate about the role of FIA stewards. Should they be allowed to work in media and express opinions freely, or does it create a conflict of interest that undermines fair officiating? While some believe Herbert was unfairly dismissed, others argue that the FIA must ensure absolute neutrality in race decisions. The FIA's actions reflect a broader pattern of restructuring aimed at maintaining professionalism and neutrality in the governing body. Recent dismissals indicate that the FIA leadership is taking a stricter stance on media presence and potential biases, a move that could reshape how stewards operate in the future. Did the FIA make the right call, or should Herbert have been allowed to continue as a steward? Was he truly impartial, or did his public opinions compromise his position? How will this decision impact future steward appointments and the way Formula One is officiated? Share your thoughts. Aston Martin's driver lineup has been a hot topic since the team joined Formula One. Over the years, they have shown a clear ability to attract top-tier talent, signing Sebastian Vettel, a four-time world champion, and later Fernando Alonso, a two-time world champion. These moves prove that Aston Martin is more than just a team with deep pockets. It has a clear vision and ambition to succeed at the highest level. Now, reports suggest they are working on another blockbuster signing. Lance Stroll has struggled against both Vettel and Alonso. In any other team, his performances might not be as heavily criticized, but because his father owns the team, his place is constantly questioned. Aston Martin has championship aspirations, hiring some of the best engineers and drivers in the world. Yet Stroll remains a weak link in their competitive lineup. Recent rumors indicate Stroll could transition to Aston Martin's 2025 World Endurance Championship program, making space for a new top-tier driver in Formula One. According to multiple sources, Aston Martin has been privately informing sponsors that Max Verstappen is their primary target. The team is reportedly preparing a £1 billion offer, including massive bonuses and potential equity in the team. Verstappen currently earns £50 million per season, matching Lewis Hamilton's contract at Ferrari. Luring him away from Red Bull would require one of the biggest contracts in F1 history, but Aston Martin has already shown that it can secure high-profile names, as seen with Adrian Newey's recruitment. Sources claim that Jefferson Slack, a top Aston Martin executive, has pitched the Verstappen signing to investors, positioning it as the final piece needed to challenge for the F1 world title. Whether this is a strategic move to attract sponsors or a genuine plan, it aligns with Aston Martin's long-term winning ambitions. Adrian Newey reportedly does not see Stroll as a strong enough driver and believes that Alonso, at 43, is past his prime. Given that Newey received shares in the team as part of his deal, Aston Martin might offer Verstappen similar incentives, making the move even more tempting. With the 2026 regulations approaching, Red Bull's dominance is no longer guaranteed. The team has seen key staff departures, including Newey, and for the first time, they will be building their own power unit with Ford, a significant technical risk. Meanwhile, Aston Martin is positioning itself as the best prepared team for the new era. They have the best wind tunnel, best factory, and an exclusive Honda engine deal, the same manufacturer that powered Verstappen's 3 world titles. Additionally, they have hired Andy Cowell, the mastermind behind Mercedes' dominant hybrid engines, as their new team principal and CEO. Despite denials from Aston Martin, and Verstappen's camp remaining vague with statements like, "That's interesting," the speculation refuses to die down. If a deal were already in place, both sides would likely remain silent until the right moment to announce it. Verstappen has no reason to rush a decision. He can monitor Red Bull's 2026 development before deciding whether to stay or leave. His father, Jos Verstappen, has already hinted that Max will not hesitate to switch teams if Red Bull loses competitiveness. Additionally, Aston Martin's expansion into endurance racing, including Le Mans, could be another attraction for Verstappen, who has expressed interest in racing outside F1 in the future. Even though Verstappen's current Red Bull contract runs until 2028, it seems clear that he could leave earlier if the right offer comes along. If that happens, Aston Martin appears to be the top contender for his signature. So, Do you think Verstappen will leave Red Bull before 2026, or will he wait to assess their performance? Could Aston Martin simply make him an offer too good to refuse? Share your thoughts below.